Republican State Senator Paul Betancourt of Houston, thank you so much and welcome back to Eye on Politics.
Glad to be back.
So good to be with you. I wanted to ask you about these 17 propositions that are on the ballot on November 4th. Of course, early voting is starting on Monday. And so a good number of these ballot propositions are with regards to lowering your property taxes. So walk us through the big ones, Prop 13, Prop 11, which affect millions of Texans.
Well, Prop 11 and Prop 13, if the public votes for it, there'll be permanent reductions in school property tax bills for all 5.7 million homeowners in the state of Texas. They're that powerful. And in fact, these type of homestead exemptions, once they're approved by the voters, they go into the Constitution, and that means they'll stay with the voters for as long as they own their home.
Now that's something worth voting for. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Texas has done it again, listening to the property owners and coming up with a plan to help alleviate some of the costs that are associated with home ownership. We're going to go into some of the propositions that have passed. Let me say this: home ownership is great, but it's not for everyone. And so this video isn't saying run out and buy a home. Didn't say that. But there's a lot of you that are willing and able, but you've been looking at things such as taxes and insurance, the part of the home mortgage payment equation that isn't fixed. Those are major concerns. So this is some good news that you can use. Hi, my name is Robert, and we simplify the home loan process.
The general homestead exemption increase is actually Prop 13. It has a 40% increase in the overall homestead exemption, which means it will save the average homeowner $484 a year. But wait, we're not done yet, because Prop 11 actually adds $60,000 more for over 65 and disabled homeowners for a $200,000 exemption, and that saves a whopping $907 per year for as long as they own their home as well.
Okay, let's break that down. I don't want to go too fast. So the Proposition 13, that's the homestead exemption increase. If you're looking on from a state other than Texas, last year there was $100,000, and then this new amendment that was just voted in on the 4th of November adds an additional $40,000. When you take that $140,000 and minus or subtract it from the largest millage rate, as you see here on the screen, then you can see the power there. He also mentioned Proposition 11, and this is an enhanced exemption for the elderly and disabled. If you're 65 or older and a homeowner, as far as your homestead is concerned, and if you have disabilities, there was another kicker as well, you can get anywhere from $10,000 to $60,000 in addition. He's saying that if your house in essence is at $200,000 or less, for the largest millage rate, the school tax line, you will be paying zero taxes. And that is a huge help for affordability, not just for homeowners of a certain age, but for folks that are looking to get on to the property ladder.
Undoubtedly, and this is only on the school property tax for homeowners, but undoubtedly you have people say, well, it feels like my property taxes are still going up. My property values are still going up. So what do you say to homeowners about that?
Well, the first thing I say is that the quickest way to a property tax cut is to vote for the propositions that raise your homestead exemptions, because they'll be with you the rest of your life, whether you're under 65 or going over 65. It will just help you stay in your home. Because really what has to happen is the cities and the counties have to follow along, and they have to make their own independent votes. And you're right, this is just for the school taxes, because it's really up to city and county governments to follow along and pass good public policy. because I believe these will pass with overwhelming approval of the voters in November.
Besides these propositions, a number of school districts have VADERs, right? These voter-approved tax rate elections. And so what's happening here? Because on one hand, the voters are being asked to lower their property taxes, and on the other hand, school districts are asking their voters to approve a tax rate increase.
Well, and those elections, for the first time, when people go into the voting booth and there's a voter approved tax rate election, it's going to say this is a tax increase. It's up to the voters. So look, it's your money. And that's why you get to vote on homestead exemption increases. But at the same time, if you vote yourself a tax rate increase on a Vader, it's going to cost you. And once that is increased, it sets in, and that's the permanent value that goes forward. So make these votes and choose wisely.
It's your money. You have to vote. These are the types of votes that I can get behind, and you should as well. What do I mean by that? Those votes that directly impact your daily lives. A lot of this other stuff that's on the internet that, is spoken about really doesn't have anything to do tangibly with your day to day. And so a lot of great things going on in Texas, and a lot of other states are going to follow suit. If you are a homeowner in Texas, make sure you have your homestead exemption file. You'd be surprised at the number of folks that don't have it. If you're elderly and you have frozen your taxes in the past, you need to look into that, because if you unfreeze them, then you can take advantage of all of the exemption increases that have been put into place, especially if your property value is $200,000 or less, because that will get rid of the highest cost line item in the total millage rates, or the total amount for the millage rates that is collected, which in essence, like you said, for some folks that could be up to $900 a year. And for what I'm saying with folks that are on Social Security and benefits, that money matters. So make sure you tap in. There were several other propositions that were passed. The ones that really deal with home ownership, if you will. If you are a spouse of someone that served in the military, a veteran that was killed in line of duty, you've always had access to using the certificate of eligibility to purchase a home for 100% of the purchase price. But now you get that 100% tax exemption. So if you haven't remarried, so on and so forth, reach out to the lender that you know, like, and trust, if that's you, because that's a great win for you. If you have like land on the border and the border wall is going through there's some additional tax benefits for you. If your house was demolished during a natural disaster or a fire, then you'll be able to receive a tax valuation that is commensurate of the value of the house once it's totaled, in essence, until it's rebuilt. The VADER, the voter tax rate exceptions that the school districts are coming around with, you need to make sure that you recognize that. And Representative Bittencourt said that going forward, when you go to the polls, it will identify that, hey, this is something that will increase the taxes, because once you do that, you establish a new baseline. Long and short, pay attention and know and understand that is your money. You guys get down in the comment section, let me know what you think. If you're thinking about relocating to Texas, or if you're here in Texas and you've just been waiting on the sideline for a right opportunity, now might be the time. There's a lot of inventory, a lot of discounts and deals to be had on top of things like this to help with affordability. You just reach out if you'd like to speak with me. My contact information is in the description. Let's have a conversation to see if it's a fit. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. Check out these videos here before you guys get out of here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.